Good morning, everyone. Nowadays, we are discussing Charles Dickens. In the previous lectures, we discussed various aspects about Dickens and Dickens's working style. Today, we are going to discuss the works that Dickens wrote, the novels that Dickens wrote, or the stories that he prepared. We have an aspect that they are a commentary on society or a social commentary. Let us begin. Dickens's novels were among the other things works of social commentary. Simon Callow states, from the moment he started to write, he spoke for people and the people loved him for it. He was a fierce critic of poverty and social stratification of Victorian society. In a New York address, he expressed his belief that virtue shows quite as well in rags and patches as she does in purple and fine linen. Dickens's second novel, Oliver Twist, 1839, shocked readers with its images of poverty and crime. It challenged middle class polemics about criminals, making impossible any pretense to ignore about what poverty entailed. At a time when Britain was the major economic and political power of the world, Dickens highlighted the life of the forgotten poor and the disadvantaged within society. Through his journalism, he campaigned on specific issues such as sanitation and the workhouse, but in fiction probably demonstrated its greatest prowess in changing public opinion in regard to class inequalities. He often depicted the exploitation and oppression of the poor and condemned the public officials and institutions that not only allowed such abuses to exist but flourished as a result. His most strident indictment of this condition is in Hard Times, 1854, Dickens's only novel length treatment of the industrial working class. In this work, Hard Times, he uses vitriol and satire to illustrate how this marginalized social stratum was termed hands by the factory owners, that is, not really people but rather only appendages of the machines they operated. Means the workers of the factory were not considered men, living men, but they were only a part of the machine they were working on. His writings inspired others, in particular journalists and political figures, to address such problems of class oppression. For example, the prison scenes in the Pickwick papers are claimed to have been influential in having the Fleet prison shut down. Karl Marx asserted that Dickens issued to the world more political and social truths than have been uttered by all the professional politicians, publicists, and moralists put together. George Bernard Shaw even remarked that great expectation was more serious than Marx Das Kapital. The exceptional popularity of Dickens's novels, even those which with socially oppositional themes, Bleak House, 1853, Little Dorrit, 1857, Our Mutual Friend, 1865, not only to underscored not only underscored his ability to create compelling storylines and unforgettable characters, but also ensured that the Victorian public confronted issues of social justice that had commonly been ignored. It has been argued that his technique of flooding his narrative with an unruly superfluity of material that in the gradual denouement yields up an unsuspected order influenced the organization of Charles Darwin's On the Origin of Species. So, friends, we here today discussed that the works of Dickens were a commentary on the society or the social situation of that time, social condition of that time. It is a social commentary. All the works of his are a social commentary. So that is all about today's lecture. We will meet with another lecture.